如今的你是不是人生很迷茫呢？快来参加我是谁线上课程，一起来探讨到这个世界的意义和使命是什么。
Hello， 大家好，今天又回到我的频道，然后还是我跟你们非常喜欢的韩国跳大神美女，叫做 Seonmi， 来跟我们分享她的第二个故事。那么上一轮呢，我们讲到的这个故事呢，就是一个屠宰场里面，然后他的一个屠夫的子女是如何就是被灵缠上了。那么接下来今天他又跟我们分享更有趣的故事，好吧 ？All yours, and thank you so much again for joining my channel. I can't say thank you enough. My fans are really, really excited about everything you are sharing or you have shared in the past. So yeah, I'm sure like this episode you are going to bring us more interesting story. I hope it's like something really mind-blowing because the previous one actually quite scary to me. Like I wasn't aware that, you know, even sort of not the immediate family, I would say like a niece who have inherited the karma. Yeah, that's a bit like different from what I usually encounter, but yeah, welcome back.
Thank you for having me back, everyone. Yeah, that one is definitely a more extreme case. It's not super common to come across cases like that where it's that extreme. Though there is like, you know, for a bit of families and family lineages that go back far enough and have gone through enough where there are circumstances that have caused them to carry on that kind of like resentment and energy from how they impacted others. So, you know, it's really give and take and dependent. The other story I had is not as scary, definitely not as scary. But basically, this particular case, so the client is Russian in ethnicity.
Okay.
He went to see like this elder Mudang, and she deemed that he needed to go through 신내림부, like the initiation ceremony, because she felt that he was going through spirit sickness. During his life, or I think a good portion of his life, he was an alcoholic. He had addiction issues. And so, you know, the Mudang's spirit mother was just like, okay, so if you think this or feel this about this person, then we'll go ahead and go through with the 신내림구, because this particular Mudang isn't able to perform that type of ceremony, so the spirit mother had to do it.
So you guys also treating addiction behavior. So it's not only psychological breakdown like the previous case, you know, it sounds like suicidal or very harmful, but also you can treat addiction behavior as well.
Yes, if there is a spiritual root to the addiction behavior, that can be treated as well. We do always make a point though to say, you know, don't only rely on rituals and ceremonies. You should also be getting help from psychology and medicine, you know, and that kind of thing. So they went through it. Throughout the initiation ceremony, there are tests from our gods, from the deities, in order to ensure that you will make it through the ceremony and pass, essentially.
The test is for who?
The Russian guy in this case.
Oh, okay. So it's not like just a quick fix. So there's a process of slowly breaking him down in terms of mentally, just so that he could get the treatment that he will accept it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And so as he was going through it, there were those particular tests that he did fail. There are certain things that I can't talk about just because it's initiatory knowledge. So I can't go into the details about that, but there were these tests that he did fail. And so at the end of the ceremony, everybody knew like what that means. Like when you fail those kinds of tests, it means that the gods change their mind about you. Yeah. And so another thing is that you just won't do well on that path. So everybody knew. He was warned about it, but he was also very optimistic. And what happened was, I think a few months after that ceremony, he disappeared. Like no one could find him. His mother couldn't find him anywhere. She was, you know, basically harassing the Mudang and her elder, trying to find him. He was eventually found, probably a few weeks after that. And it turned out that because the gods rejected him, he did not get healed. He ended up going back to the streets and being an addict over there because, if he stayed with his mom, she was going to, force him into rehab, try to get him better, at least physically that way. And so he was trying to avoid that completely. The lowly spirits were just so ingrained in him and attached to him. He couldn't answer God's calling properly, even through the initiation ceremony. And that was showed by him failing those tests.
But where's this spirit coming from? Is it from the fact that he constantly drinking alcohol when slowly he become an addict and the spirit just follow him and inhabited on him, or is something that he was born with it?
That's a good thing. Good question. So basically, two things actually. So the first is that when people become used to using certain drugs and being drunk a lot, it opens your mind spiritually to whatever, like really easily. And spirits have a lot easier time of taking over or possessing someone or attaching to someone when they have their guard down in that kind of way.
Because you're weak, because you're constantly
Right. And the other thing is that how the Mudang originally read his Saju, his like natal chart, like he had the calling to become a Mudang and go through the initiation ceremony, but the way that this was read, the end result wasn't going to be in his favor.
So that's quite a challenge. Is that means like people like this, they cannot be cured or they cannot be healed? I mean, even scientifically, going through psychologies, therapies, and so on, I have encountered some alcoholic or drug addicts. They keep having this relapse. They probably stop taking something substance for 5 years and then they stop drinking for 5 years, and suddenly one day it just hit them and then they start drinking again. I think this probably applied to the Friends actor Matthew Perry. He was battling alcoholism for like a very long period of time.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm not too sure like what is the best approach, because even God is giving up on him. That's a bit like almost like there's no more hope for him. So addicts as such, they probably die young age or they just go insane, because is there like a very forceful way to make them to become better or heal them, or they have to work with you, not just like forcefully doing this whole ritual thing?
I would have handled the situation differently. So instead of trying to take him through initiation ceremony, I would have suggested a healing ceremony. So that the healing ceremony will do two things. Obviously, the first is to try to help heal the root cause. The second is that good ceremony is excellent for begging and pleading the gods to change somebody's destiny, their fate. And because his fate read that way, the Kut ceremony could also have that dual function where it would also answer that issue by changing that fate line so that he could receive the healing.
The outcome could change based
Exactly, yes.
Oh, I thought it set stone, because after the ceremony, the initiate ceremony, I thought it was set stone that he cannot be healed, and the end result was not, positive for him. But you could have done it the other way around, where he could have been safe.
Exactly.
Wow. I don't know, especially these days, mental health became like a social norm. I'm sure any normal person will have a period of time where they feel really dark and very depressive. So what are your advice to people, and how is your healing session could help all this very low, sort of dark type of people who cannot get out of this like very depressive emotions? Like how is your healing going to help this type of depressions, let's just say?
Well, I mean, it really depends on what comes out in a divination reading with my gods. That divination reading, you can consider it very similar to that first visit with a doctor. Because when you first talk to a doctor about a new problem, their focus is trying to analyze and diagnose what the cause of the symptoms is, right?
Yeah.
So think of that similarly with the way that we do divination sessions. It's basically a way and a chance to diagnose the root cause for what you're going through. Like, why are you going through these depressive symptoms? Like, why has modern medicine or therapy not worked for you, even though you've tried those solutions? And then the divination session will help explain or showcase what the answer to those questions would be. And then going from there is where we would decide, okay, what will be best for the reason for this? How to treat your symptoms? Will the best option be a ritual? So something not too exorbitant, especially financially. It'll be like something very small scale, something that can be done a lot quicker. And essentially the results probably won't last as long, but if it's not a too serious problem, if it's not a very serious problem, then the ritual would be the way to go. You can save yourself some money, you can save yourself some time and see how that goes. But then with more severe cases, like the grand ceremony, that is much, much more preferred because of how much more bonuses you get out of a ceremony like that. In the ceremonies, we bring down our gods onto this plane of existence specifically to use their magic and their gifts to change your fate or your destiny and easily resolve your grievances and whatever issues you're having.
Does any of your healing treatment, including herbals, type of medications, for example, different type of like herbal, the natural sort of like ingredients, like maybe someone needs to drink it?
Oh, I see what you mean. I have been trained through American College of Healthcare Sciences. It is a accredited college program. I have been trained through that college program for herbal medicine, but personally, I primarily lean on the spiritual help for those things. For herbal remedies, I would really suggest like a naturopathic doctor, acupuncturist, Chinese traditional medicine doctor, and those kinds of things.
Wow, okay. I guess we have come to the end of the story. I suppose like there's more to be continued. So we've done like 4th episode by now, and how do you feel about coming to my channel?
I personally really enjoy my time with you and all of your audience. Thank you all for having me again. I really enjoy sharing these stories and being able to explain these things with you all. So thank you.
So yeah, we've come to an end. If you guys would like to see Seonmi more, please like, share, and comment below. Yeah, so I guess for now we will be finishing our 4 different episode or 4 different videos. So thank you so much again, and you guys please follow her on TikTok, reach out to her on Instagram if you want a consultation. She's available, and following is her website as well. She is all ready for you. So thank you so much. My biggest appreciation for coming to my channel, and hopefully we will catch up soon. For now, I'll just say goodbye and thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.